So since Phainon is right around the corner, it's time for him to take a bath in gold. And this is what we are going to talk about, and I would love to hear your opinion about it in the comments section below. Now before we start, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell beside it to stay notified with everything new about Honkai Star Rail. And without any further ado, let's just get started. So what do I mean by taking a bath in gold? Well, if you did watch the Nameless Faces basically video about Honkai Star Rail when we just started Amphoreus, you can see immediately that Phainon is taking a bath in gold. However, until now we didn't see anything of that happen. We did see the Flame Reaver, we did see the fights against the Flame Reaver, but we didn't see basically Phainon taking a bath in gold. And I think that that is for a reason, because whenever he does that, it's not going to be the exact same way that he does it in the Nameless Faces basically video, because even the fight against the Flame Reaver wasn't the same. These are just references to what is going to happen in the story. It's not exactly what is going to happen. But either way, he is going to take a bath in gold, and he is going to achieve his real form through that. Now, why did they not do it until now? Well, I think that the reason for that is obviously that they want to keep his real form basically as a mystery until they reveal himself and release him as a playable character. That's when they want to release his real form as well. And the second one is that maybe he needs Aedes Elysiae in order to be able to basically do that and transform into his real form. Maybe that golden bath exists in Aedes Elysiae, not in Amphoreus, not basically on Okhema, but in Aedes Elysiae. As we know, Aedes Elysiae is basically a remote frontier village isolated from the world. So it's not a part of Amphoreus, it's its own thing that exists outside of Amphoreus, or at least isolated from Amphoreus. It does still exist on the same place or in the same simulation, but it's isolated from Amphoreus. So maybe he needs to reach there in order to take that bath and transform into his real form. And since we are going to get basically Phainon in version 3.4, it's about time we finally see that and he transforms basically into his real form. And since in his drip marketing it's clearly showing his real form behind him, it's pretty much about time we finally get that. So we are going to get his real form, and it might be through basically him going to Aedes Elysiae, basically with the help of Cyrene, because as we saw, Cyrene did appear actually at the very end of the version 3.3 story. I would love to hear your opinion about that as well, by the way. Do you think that that was the real Cyrene, or was that just an illusion? Or maybe it was someone who is trying to trick Phainon. There are multiple different theories for that, but if it is the real Cyrene, then maybe Cyrene is going to help basically Phainon to reach Aedes Elysiae, and there he would be able to take a bath in gold and be able to transform into his real form, and then maybe he can put an end to the cycle that is keeping on repeating, instead of just resetting the cycle and letting it basically repeat itself again. So this is my opinion about it. I think that it's about time for him to take that bath in gold and transform into his real form, and it's gonna be epic. You can already know that. It's gonna be absolutely insane for sure. They are going to go all in on it. If they went all that hard on a fight that wasn't even the final boss, which was basically the Titan of Sky Aquila, if they went that hard on that, imagine how hard they are going to go on the transformation that Phainon is going to go through. It's gonna be absolute cinema, it's gonna be absolute peak, and I think that starting from the next version, actually starting from the current version 3.3, the story has gone incredibly insane. So starting from the next version, I think that they are going to go through insane developments, because it's about time we put an end to the Amphoreus story. The developers did say that it is going to last until 3.8, so there are still basically 4 or 5 versions until now of Amphoreus, but maybe some of them are going to be just basically us learning a little bit more about Amphoreus, or maybe it is just the aftermath of what is going to happen after we finish the Amphoreus story. Kind of like what they did basically with Penacony, where we ended the story, we went to the Sienjo Lafu, and then we returned to Penacony again to understand what happened there. So it could be something like that, or it could be something like the Rappa thing as well, where we went there for no reason pretty much. But either way, there is basically the possibility of that. But I think that there is also the possibility that Elysia or Cyrene might not be released until the very end of Amphoreus, and if that does happen, if they leave her until 3.8, then the story is going to stay until 3.8 as well. And that is going to be absolutely ridiculous. If we think about it, we have actually 4 unknown Chrysos Heirs right now. And these 4 unknown Chrysos Heirs, basically Ceridra, Hysolins, March 7th, and then the unknown Chrysos Heir that we don't know anything about. These 4 are going to take 2 patches, which means that 3.5 and 3.6 are gone. So what we have basically is 3.7 and 3.8, and during one of these patches we are going to get basically Cyrene, and the other one is going to be something else. So we will see what they are going to do with that, but it seems like everything is fitting perfectly for the story to be basically ended. The next story is going to be obviously about Phainon and Cyrene, mostly about Phainon obviously, and then we might go into what happened with March 7th. I would hope that they give us something more about March 7th during the next story, but since it ended up basically with Phainon and Cyrene, I think that they are going to basically give us mostly a story about Phainon and Cyrene, and maybe at the very end they would give us a cliffhanger just like what they did with 3.3 that has to do with basically March 7th instead. But we will see what they are going to do with that as well. I really hope that they give us something, at least show us where March 7th is, what is happening to March 7th, something that is March 7th related, because until now it's nearly basically 6 months without March 7th at all. So it's really sad that they aren't giving us anything about her. All they are showing us is just people talking about her. Please give us something about her herself. Show us her. Show us what is happening to her. Who is doing this to her? Why is this happening to her? We don't want some people just theorizing. We want some actual facts of what is happening with her. But either way, the next story is definitely going to be focusing mostly about Phainon and his relation to Cyrene, and basically about Aedes Elysiae as well, because I believe that we are definitely, if we have basically Phainon and Cyrene and the world is being destroyed, I think that the only logical thing that is going to happen is Phainon and Cyrene going basically back to Aedes Elysiae and doing something there to save Amphoreus. Either way, this is my opinion about it. I would love to hear your opinion about it in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell beside it to stay notified with everything new about Honkai Star Rail. And until next time, see you as always in the next video.